Welcome to English Conversations. Let's practice listening and reading. Perfect for A2 to B1 learners.
Great party.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, hi. My name's Ben.
I'm Sandra.
What do you do, Sandra?
I'm a nurse. How about you?
Me? Oh, I'm a student.
A student? Really? What college do you go to?
Columbia. I go to Columbia University. I'm in my second year of medical school.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do. I like it a lot. What do you think of the music, Sandra? Do you like it?
No, not really.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I like rock music.
Do you? Who's your favorite band?
Muse. I really like Muse.
Me too. Did you go to the concert last month?
No, I didn't. Was it good?
Yes, it was awesome. I'm sorry you missed it. Do you play any sports, Sandra?
Yes, I play tennis.
Ah, nice. I play ice hockey. I'm on a club team.
Are you?
Yes, I am. But I play tennis too. Maybe we can play together one day.
Maybe, but I usually play with my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend?
Yes, here he is. Wayne. This is Ben. Ben, Wayne.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Look at the time. Gotta go. Some friends are waiting for me. Bye, Sandra.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to Love Online. Today, we'd like you, the listeners, to call in and tell us about your experiences with online relationships. And, oh my, that's quick. We already have our first caller. Hello?
Hi, my name's Alan.
Hello, Alan. Can you tell us about your experience with internet dating?
Yes, of course. I'm pretty shy, you see, and I'm not very good at talking to girls I don't know. So one day, I registered on an online dating agency, and I met Susan.
And what happened?
We got along really well. In fact, after 4 months, we got engaged.
Congratulations, Alan. Thanks for calling. Now, I think we have another caller. Hello?
Hi, I'm Kate.
Hello, Kate. What can you tell us about Love Online?
Well, I decided to try a dating site because I work long hours and I don't have time to meet new people.
So, what happened?
Well, I met some guys and then I met Craig.
Who's Craig?
Well, now he's my husband. We're very happy together and we're thinking of having children.
That's great news, Kate. It looks as if it is possible to find love online. Now, who's our next caller?
Paolo.
Hi, Paolo. Did you marry someone you met on the internet?
Yes, I did. But it was the worst thing I ever did.
Oh, why's that?
Because she didn't really love me.
How do you know that?
It was in the newspaper. There was an article about a woman who contacted men online, married them, and then left with all their money. And there was a photo of my wife next to the article.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Paolo. And I'm afraid that's all we have time for today. Join me next week for another edition of Love Online.
And now for the latest news in the art world. If you're in Paris this weekend, you might like to visit the new David Hockney exhibition called Fresh Flowers. As the name suggests, most of the pictures depict flowers. However, these are no ordinary flower pictures, because Hockney uses his iPhone or his iPad to draw them. Hockney started painting on his iPhone during the winter of 2008. At the time, he was staying at his home in northern England, where he has a beautiful view out of his bedroom window. One morning, he picked up his iPhone and used his fingers to paint the sunrise. He was very happy with the result and started experimenting with other pictures. Now, he sends his friends a different flower picture every morning. They love it. Fresh Flowers is at the Fondation Pierre Berger Yves Saint Laurent in Paris until January 30th. The exhibition shows the drawings Hockney made on an iPhone and the pictures he drew on an iPad. The gallery is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Tuesday to Friday, and admission costs €5. Don't miss this show. It will be a bright moment in your day.
When I was 17, I went on vacation with my parents to Brittany in France. My parents rented a nice house on the beach, and the weather was great. We went for a delicious meal for my birthday, but I was miserable. I wanted to be with my friends, and I didn't smile once in 2 weeks.
A few years ago, I went to visit an old school friend, but I didn't enjoy the weekend at all. At school, we got along really well, but now she has 2 small children, so she didn't want to go out. I spent a very boring 2 days in her house watching TV. I don't think I'm going to visit her again.
It's really hot where we live, so we always try to go on vacation where it's cool. Last year, we booked a vacation in Canada, but we arrived in the middle of a heat wave. It was awful because there was no air conditioning anywhere. We just sat in cafes and argued all day. We can do that at home.
When I finished college, I went on a cruise around the Mediterranean with some friends from my classes. We wanted to celebrate the end of our exams. As soon as we left the port, I started feeling seasick. I spent the whole week in bed, and I hated every minute of the cruise.
3 years ago, I broke up with my boyfriend, so I decided to go on an expensive vacation on my own to the Seychelles. Unfortunately, the travel agent didn't tell me that the islands were popular with couples on their honeymoon. Everywhere I looked, there were people holding hands, and I felt very lonely. What should we do this afternoon, Matt?
I know. Let's take a look at that box of photos my aunt gave me yesterday. Here it is. Oh, look at that.
Who's that?
That's my grandfather. And that's my grandmother behind him on the right. She's the one in the flowery dress. It was just after they got married, before they had any children. My aunt told me all about this photo a few years ago.
So, where are they?
Well, as you know, my dad is Spanish. My grandparents lived in the center of Madrid, and this photo was taken in the district where they lived.
What's going on exactly?
Well, there's a festival there called La Paloma. It takes place in the middle of August every year, and it still happens now. There are lots of stalls selling food and also stalls where you can win a prize.
So, what was your grandfather trying to win?
He was trying to win a bracelet for my grandmother. He was shooting at a target at the stall, and all those people were watching him.
Do you know any of the other people in the photo?
No, I don't. But I think they all lived near my grandfather.
Who took the photo?
The man at the stall. The photo was included in the price. You had 3 chances to hit the target, and you got the photo for free.
It's a great photo. I think your grandfather was very good-looking.
That's what everyone says.
Hello, and welcome to the program. Today, we're looking at lucky escapes, and Nick Williams from the news desk is here to tell us some amazing stories. Nick?
Hi, Gloria. Well, my first story is about a tourist who fell into a volcano. Maureen Evison was walking at the top of the Teide volcano in Tenerife when she tripped and fell. She fell 80 feet until she hit a tree, which stopped her fall and saved her life. The rescue operation took nearly 4 hours, and after that, Maureen spent 2 months in the hospital before she could go home.
Lucky Maureen! What else do you have for us?
Joseph Rabidou had a lucky escape when he was at home watching TV. Joseph was sitting on the floor, so his father told him to go and sit on the sofa. 5 minutes later, a truck crashed into their living room and threw the family television into the air. The TV then landed on the exact spot where Joseph had been on the floor before.
What a lucky escape. Do you have any more?
Yes, just one more for now. One Saturday morning, Barry McRoy was leaving a cafe when 2 men came in. The men were fighting, and one of them had a gun. The man fired, and the bullet hit Barry in the chest. Luckily, he had a DVD in the pocket of his jacket at the time, and the DVD stopped the bullet. Barry McRoy is a very lucky man.
Absolutely. So now it's time for you, the listeners, to call in and tell us about your own experiences. And here's our first caller.
John.
Hi, Jane. You look well.
You too. How was your flight?
We took off a little late, but it was fine.
Are you hungry?
No, I had a sandwich on the plane.
Well, let's go and find the car. It isn't far.
Great.
Hello. Where are you flying to?
To Boston.
Can I see your passport, please?
Here you are.
Thanks. Can I see your carry-on luggage?
Yes, just this bag.
Okay. Here's your boarding pass. The flight is boarding at 4:50 p.m. from gate B28. You're in Group B.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy your flight.
Can I see your passport, please, sir?
Here you are.
What is the purpose of your visit, Mr. Green?
I'm going to stay with a friend.
And how long are you going to stay in San Francisco?
For 3 weeks.
Can I have a contact telephone number, please?
Yes. My friend's number is 415-555-7020.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Enjoy your stay.
Look, there's a gray suitcase. Is it ours?
No, it's too big. Ours is much smaller.
It's taking a long time to come out.
Yes, the first one came out really quickly.
Look, there it is. Finally.
You stay here with the other bags. I'm going to get it.
Okay, I'll wait for you here.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you come this way, please?
Yes, of course.
Do you have anything to declare?
No, I don't think so. I bought some chocolate in the duty-free store, but that's all.
Can I check your bag, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. You can go on through.
Thank you.
Hi, Dawn. I hear you're going to be on vacation next week.
Yes, I am, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What are you going to do?
I'm taking a train trip through Mexico with a friend.
A train trip? I did that when I was a student. I traveled with very little money, not much food, and no sleep. It was fun, but I don't want to do it again.
Ah, but you see, taking a train trip as an adult is very different.
Really? In what way?
Well, to start with, I'm going to travel first class, so it'll be much more comfortable.
How long are you going for?
I wanted to go for 2 weeks, but work's so busy right now. So just 10 days.
And which places are you visiting?
Chihuahua, Creel, Divisadero, Cerro Cajul, and Los Mochis. We're starting in El Paso, Texas, in the U.S., and ending in Los Mochis in Mexico. We're driving to Mazatlan at the end of the trip because we want to spend a few days at the beach.
What about sleeping arrangements? Are you going to sleep on the train?
No, there aren't any sleeping compartments on this particular train, so we're sleeping in hotels every night. We're having most of our meals in the dining car of the train, though. I'm looking forward to enjoying my meals as the Mexican countryside goes by.
Well, it sounds like a different kind of trip than the one I went on as a student.
Absolutely. It's going to be different, but I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun.
Hello, and welcome to the world of words. Today we're going to look at word games, so let's start with the most popular of them all, Scrabble. Ricky Jones from the National Scrabble Association is here to tell us all about it. Ricky, who actually invented the game?
Well, it was an American named Alfred Mosher Butts. Butts was an unemployed architect, and in his free time, he did a lot of crossword puzzles. These crossword puzzles gave him the idea for a game that he called Lexico. The game had the same letter tiles as Scrabble, but no board. Players used the letter tiles to make words. They scored by adding up the points on each of the letter tiles. Later, Butts introduced a board and a set of rules and changed the name to Crisscross Words.
How did Butts decide how many points to give each letter?
He counted how many times each letter appeared on the front page of the New York Times. Then, depending on the frequency of each letter, he gave it between 1 and 10 points. The most common letters, like the vowels, got only 1 point because they are easier to use. There are more of these letters in the game. There was only one tile for each of the least common letters, for example, Q and Z, which got 10 points.
So, when did Butts' original game become the modern game of Scrabble?
Well, in 1948, Butts met a businessman named James Bruneau, who designed a new board and changed the name of the game to Scrabble. Then, in 1952, the president of Macy's, the famous New York department store, discovered the game on vacation and loved it so much he placed a large order. Butts and Bruneau knew they couldn't produce enough Scrabble sets for Macy's, and so they sold the rights to the game to another manufacturer. Today, Scrabble is sold in 121 countries in 29 different languages.
What a story, Ricky. Thank you for sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
Housework? Me? No, that's my mom's job. She only goes to work 2 days a week, so she has enough time to cook and clean and things like that. I go to school, and then I see my friends, so I'm too busy to do housework. My dad goes to work every day, so he doesn't have time either.
Well, I try and help my mom when I can. I make my bed when I get up in the morning, and I always set the table for dinner. I usually clean my room, but my mom is the one who cleans it. Apart from that, I'm not at home very much, so I don't do anything else.
Oh, yes. Everyone in my family helps with the housework. There are 4 of us, and we're all very busy. During the week, my mom or my dad cooks the dinner, and my brother and I do the dishes. We do the cleaning together on Saturday mornings.
It's true. I don't do much housework, but I love cooking. I don't have time to cook during the week, but I do all the cooking on the weekend. My mom does all the cleaning, though. She says she doesn't mind it.
We have a cleaning lady who comes in every day, and she does all our housework. She makes the beds, cleans the floors, and cleans our rooms. She even does the ironing. I'm not sure who does the shopping, but the refrigerator is always full. That's the important thing.
Those listeners in the US who enjoy going shopping will be interested to hear our next news story. There are many wonderful shopping malls in the US. But did you know that a new mall in London is one of the most stylish places to shop these days? It's taken 6 years and $2.35 billion to build. But the Westfield shopping mall has opened in Stratford in East London. We sent our reporter Juliet Redditch over to take a look at what is now Europe's largest urban shopping mall. Juliet, what's it like in Westfield right now?
Well, Terry, there are crowds of people everywhere, especially outside the stores that have special opening sales. Some stores have called security staff to help them control the lines.
Just how big is Westfield, Juliet?
Oh, it's very big. There are 2 enormous department stores, a huge supermarket, and 300 smaller stores. You can spend all day here if you want to. I haven't decided where I'm going to have lunch, but there are 70 different places to eat. It's amazing.
What effect has the shopping mall had on the local area, Juliet?
Well, this is an area where there are many people out of work. The shopping mall has created 10,000 new jobs, so it has really helped.
How did you get to Westfield today?
I came by car. There's an enormous parking lot with space for 5,000 cars. But you can also get here by bus, train, and on the tube. It's the best connected shopping mall in the country.
Now, Juliet, the big question is, have you bought anything yet?
No, I haven't. I was just looking around, really. I saw some pants I liked, but I didn't buy them. There were too many people in the fitting rooms to try them on.
Okay, thanks, Juliet. And now, onto a news story of a different kind.
Last weekend was really awful. My husband and I went camping in the mountains with some friends, and it rained the whole time. It was really depressing. We had to stay in the tent and play cards all day, which was okay to begin with, but then my husband got bored. He started complaining about the weather, and then about our friends, and finally about me. We had a terrible argument, and in the end we came home on Saturday night. I'm never going camping again.
My weekend was great. I took my wife to Paris, which is somewhere she has wanted to visit her whole life. We stayed in a wonderful hotel in a beautiful old building overlooking the river. The view was incredible. We ate some really great food, and although it was cold, we had a very nice walk around the city. The best part was that it was a surprise for my wife. I met her after work on Friday, and we drove straight to the airport. She had no idea where we were going.
I don't have much money right now, so I didn't do anything special this weekend. But actually, I had a really good time. I visited a local museum with some friends. All the museums here are free, and they have some interesting exhibitions about places like Egypt, Rome, and India. We then watched 2 of my favorite DVDs on Saturday night, and on Sunday, I invited my parents to my apartment, and I cooked dinner for them. Not a bad weekend, really.
My brother and his wife stayed with us this weekend. They have 3 children, and we spent the whole time playing with them. We took them swimming, we went to the zoo, and on Sunday we went to the park. They have so much energy, and they're really noisy, especially in the morning when they wake up, which is usually around 6 o'clock. I was completely exhausted by Sunday night, but it was great to see them.
Well, I haven't been here long, so I haven't had time to make many friends yet. After I get home from work, I spend most of the evening online, chatting with friends and family back home. Twice a week, I take classes to try and learn the language. Most of my colleagues speak very good English, but I haven't been out with them yet.
I guess you could say I'm a little depressed right now. Time goes really slowly when you don't have anything to do. I spend more time sleeping now, and I have a lot of time to do the housework. It doesn't take all day to make the bed and clean my room, so I get really bored. I hope I find another job soon, because I really need the money.
My life has changed a lot now that I don't have to leave the house to go to work. Things aren't so stressful first thing in the morning now. I just get up, make a cup of coffee, and turn on my computer. It's strange communicating with colleagues online and not seeing them face to face. Sometimes it gets a little lonely.
Oh no, I never get bored. There's always so much to do. I like to get up early and read the newspaper while I'm having breakfast. Then I like to go for a walk and do some shopping. After lunch, I go and pick up my grandchildren from school. We spend an hour in the park until their mother comes to get them. I'm really enjoying life right now.
This is the best thing that has ever happened to me. She's so beautiful that I seem to spend all day looking at her. I don't have time to see friends now, so I keep in touch with everybody by phone or online when she's asleep. We go shopping together and I do more housework and cooking, but I don't get much sleep anymore.
Hello, and welcome to the travel program. Now, one of the most popular tourist destinations these days is the amazing country of Brazil. Sonia Medina from the Brazilian Tourist Board is here to tell us all about it. Sonia, what's so special about Brazil?
Oh, Brazil is a very large country, and there's just so much to see and do there. First of all, there are historic cities like Salvador, the first capital of Brazil, and Rio de Janeiro to visit.
Let's start with Salvador. What's there to see there?
Well, Salvador is in the eastern part of the country on the Atlantic Ocean. It's both an old city and a modern one at the same time. There are a lot of very tall office buildings and great shopping malls there. And the city has a lot of museums. One of the most important is the Museo de Arte de Bahia.
What about Rio de Janeiro?
Rio de Janeiro is a little bigger than Salvador. The population is about 6 million. It's in the southern part of Brazil, also on the Atlantic Ocean. Rio de Janeiro has churches dating back to the 16th century, famous cultural landmarks, and world-class sports. In my opinion, Rio de Janeiro is one of the most exciting cities in the world.
Apart from the cities, what else would you recommend?
The beaches. There are wonderful beaches northeast of Rio de Janeiro, especially on the peninsula of Búzios, which has more than 20 of them. You can drive or take a bus there from Rio de Janeiro.
Is there anything to do in Búzios besides going to the beach?
Well, if you are a fan of water sports, you can sail a boat, surf, or windsurf. There are also a number of restaurants to enjoy, as well as interesting stores to explore.
So, when is the best time to visit Brazil, Sonia?
The main tourist areas are very crowded from December to March, so it's better to go between May and October when it isn't as busy and hotel prices are a little lower.
Thank you, Sonia. Brazil certainly sounds like a very exciting vacation destination. Now, let's look at a different type of vacation.
Hey, Alice, let's take this quiz. It says you can find out your body age.
Body age? Okay.
You first. So, we start with your real age, which is 35.
Don't tell everyone.
Sorry. Then we add or subtract years depending on your answers to the questions. Got that?
Yes.
Okay then. First question. How much do you walk a day?
Well, I always go for a walk at lunchtime, so a lot.
A lot. Okay. So we subtract 1 year, which leaves us with 34. Next question. How many sports do you play and how often do you exercise?
Oh, I hate playing sports, and I don't exercise at all. I guess that means none.
No sports or exercise. Add 2 years. That makes 36. How much fast food do you eat?
None. I don't eat any.
Great. Subtract a year. We're back on 35 again. How many servings of fruits and vegetables do you eat?
A lot. I have more than 5 every day.
A lot. Subtract 2 years. That's 33. Next one. How would you describe yourself mentally?
What do you mean?
Well, are you a positive person or a negative person?
Oh, right. I think I'm a very positive person.
Okay, subtract 3 years. Now you're at 30. Next question. How would you describe your stress level?
I would say I'm a little stressed, but it's under control.
Okay, so we don't have to add or subtract anything. You're still at 30. How many close friends do you see regularly?
A few. I don't have much time.
Okay, we don't add or subtract anything again. Last question. How much time do you have for yourself?
Not enough. I'm always really busy.
Add a year. That makes 31, which means that you are 35, but your body is only 31. What do you think of that?
31. That's great news. Now it's your turn.